Good job.
I got the mic off.
I gotta make Ahmed shut up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. But time out. Look at here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to look what's in front of us right here. Look what Mr. Bagwell is divvying up. Show him that piece, Byron. Oh, my God. Look at that. That is a wonderful key lime pound cake from Miss Shirley Bagwell. She made it right here. We're all fixing to delve in and eat us a little cake. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but hey, this looks too good to pass up. Let me finish.
Sorry, Mitchell.
Oh, boy. Mitchell, David, I think she hit a home run with that one. Oh, my gosh.
I'm not up
Miss
to
Shirley
that.
Bagwell, if you're on, oh, my goodness.
Give me that.
Boy. All right, that's great. Again, welcome in. We're just going to sample this cake right here for you guys. Now, look, Byron, what in the hell? Look at Byron's face.
I mean, there's plenty of cake. What you talking about?
Oh, goodness. Oh, the people that are on, they're going, oh, my goodness. They're going, hey, how about it, huh?
This would be good for St. Patty's Day.
All right, Dave. Yes, it would. Look at here. Oh, $10.
That will be good for any day.
My goodness. That is great. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This sort of, oh, my gosh. Byron, I think your mom hit this one at the ballpark.
I think she did too. It's really good.
Oh, my.
Checks in the mail, Shirley.
Checks in the mail. My goodness. Hey, what do you think? Mitchell?
It's good.
It's good.
So good, it makes me want to spank my mama.
No way. Dave, if we can, right here. Good Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Brought to you tonight by Service First Small Engine Repair McRae. Let Chuck Scarberry come to you for all your small engine repair needs. And by Williams Jewelry on Call Street, featuring the all-new Kinder Scott Summer Collection in stock now. Show them your Kinder Scott collection there, Mitchell. Oh, you ain't wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
Oh, boy. This is your show coming to you on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Saturday night. You control and run this show. We are just the rudder that steers this big old vessel. Is it good, Byron?
I love key lime pie. That's
Me too.
Great.
We bring it to you first for education, discussion, and debate of local news, politics, and sports, as well as the latest on the COVID-19 situation and the ongoings of the United States of America, which we got a plan for that, by the way. We have you covered from Middleburg to Melrose to McIntosh, from Lake City to Lake Bunker to Lake Como, from Waldo to Williston, from Lottie to Lulu. Oh, no! We have an on-the-spot alert. As I was going home today from cutting grass, I passed through the big metropolis of Lulu, Florida, and I seen the famous Sasquatch family not grilling out, but actually cleaning the park up with the Bagwell family.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to pass. I think I would use the Stevens family.
What about the snake?
Mama's got cake. So, who did I see? I see Daddy Alligator Gar Stevens, Mama Peg Bundy Stevens, Brother Sally Joe Stevens,
Peg Bundy.
Sister Billy Bob Stevens, Cousin Danielson Stevens, Cousin Caitlin Jenner Stevens. Ooh, you go figure that one. Grandpa Earl Cane Syrup Stevens, David. And Grandma Roll Your Own Cigarettes and Roll Your Own Card Stevens. How about that? She plays poker and she smokes cigarettes. Good grief. and all points in between, including Gainesville, Pulaski, and of course, right here in beautiful Stark, Florida. This show's already off the rails, Dave.
For real, it's all right.
It's all right. All right. Now, here's your on-the-spot team making it happen every single week. First, putting it all together behind the scenes, our executive producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Hello, everybody.
All right. The rest of the team is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens, who couldn't be with us tonight, and John Better Than Snopes Brooks. They are on special assignment. And our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM. Who works there, Mitchell?
That'd be your very only Chuck Kramer.
And?
Mary
Kramer.
And? Liv Ellis.
And Ellis.
That's it. And how about the Bradford County Telegraph people there, Byron? Who works there?
Oh, Lord, you had to ask me that.
Cliff Smelly. Yeah, Cliff Smelly and the crew. Yeah, there you go. And our director, Michael the Dragon Slayer Heater, is connecting to us remotely while on a well-deserved vacation in the Smoky Mountains this week. Well, good grief. Hey, he couldn't rub it in any more than that, could he? And now my co-host, as always, to my right is our local voice on current events, the man with the plan, the guy that always gets to the nitty-gritty and to the bottom of all our local situations, Frank Sinatra's brother himself, Mitchell, the American Scout Gunter.
Good afternoon, everyone.
We are having an emergency local situation, by the way.
We are.
Yeah, and it's sitting on our place.
Yes, it sure is, and right in front of us. And to my left, he is our historian and our governmental whiz, our political guru. He is known as the fighter on terrorism and the defender of the Republic and the freedom fighter himself, Mr. Byron Bagwell. Give it up for Byron.
Good evening, infidels.
And I'm your
And
host,
green cake eaters.
Boy, you ain't kidding. Oh, smoke. We got to talk Shirley about that one. I'm your host, David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes and
The
Pony. And the horse with no name. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. How about that?
You ain't been to no desert lately, have you?
No, I haven't. But you know what? Well, we won't talk about that. We are coming to you live from the On the Spot studios along Call Street and Stark. Only 479 miles from Tuskegee, North Carolina, where the Dragon Slayer is spending some well-deserved vacation time. You know, we kid around with him, but he does, man. We know how hard he works. I tell you, Michael, we hope you're enjoying your vacation.
Yes.
So let's get started, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic words of wisdom. Let us all bow our heads, everybody, please. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once think again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we get to spend with not only ourselves and our team, but our wonderful viewers, dear Lord, the wonderful people of this great country, the patriots of this great country, dear Lord, and the world's best country and the freest country, the United States of America. Yeah. Thank you for also keeping a hedge of protection over our United States Armed Forces, all of them combined, dear Lord, as they're fighting very hard to keep our rights, our liberties, and our freedoms well protected from socialism and communism, dear Lord, that is trying to infiltrate this great nation. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day as it goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies in our service. And especially this key lime cake that Miss Shirley Bagwell sent to us. It is absolutely phenomenal and delicious. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything else that you're doing for us and everything that's going throughout the rest of the week. Anybody that's got a spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, you touch each and every one of them, dear Lord. You know their wants and their needs, and you are the ultimate healer and the ultimate sacrifice, dear Lord. You can heal and touch these people. Again, just thank you for today. Thank you for the rest of the weekend. And thank you for this next week that we got upcoming. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says,
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Let us stand up for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Byron Bagwell if he'd lead us tonight.
Sure. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, before Mr. Bagwell gets into his quote of the night, quote of the week as well, but mainly the quote of the night, because Byron's always got a different quote each and every week, and if he doesn't have one, we share those quotes. But right here, this is what it's all about. That's it. Byron, David, right here, isn't it?
Oh, glory.
This is right here.
Oh, glory.
That's pretty.
Any one of us sitting at this table right here, with I know some patriots on our show that watch, would sacrifice all for this right here. And many have. And many more are going to. And that's just the way that it works, right, Byron?
That's right.
So
You got to defend it.
you got to defend it. So go ahead, Mr. Byron Bagwell. What you got for us tonight?
Well,
Well, while you're doing that, I'm sorry.
yeah, my thoughts have been echoing lately on one that I've used before from John Jay. And it would be, the fools and knaves of this world are forever in alliance, and we're seeing it more and more and more and more and more. So,
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, we talked before the show, and we always get together and put our thoughts and our plans together on what we want to do and what we want to say. And some things, you know, just come out when we're just sitting there while we're having a conversation, a regular conversation, just like we do with you folks. And we talk about different things. And isn't it funny how that quote that you just said tonight, we were just talking about that 20 minutes ago while we was in the break room, you know, getting ourselves ready and together. All this really ties in.
yeah.
And we're going to get into some of that tonight, as a matter of fact, for sure. So, anyway, before we delve into today's latest, we want to recognize our great sponsors who once again step up and serve our community. This is our sponsor spotlight. Miracle Automotive and Recovery, Dependable Waste Services, Houston and Sabre Law Offices, and the Downtown Grill.
Service First Small Engine Repair, Fun Point Food and Arcade, which we like to do almost every afternoon after we finish the show.
Yes, we
Southern
do.
Gym Photography, and Harry Business to Start.
And Boogie Nights DJ Service, designed by Propes, on the spot lawn maintenance, Williams Jewelry on Call Street, and Brittany Leanne Creations.
And now, here's the 360, taking you around the region with local news and weather in 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade in Start. Check out the all-new menu on Facebook or www.funpointstart.com. We begin in Bradford County, where 2 people were seriously injured in a vehicle crash early this morning. The crash occurred on Southwest County Road 225 near Southwest 102nd Avenue in Sampson City. Passerbys pulled the 2 men from the car and drove them to the Bradford Fire Station 90 at County Road 227. Both men were taken to an area hospital. The investigation is continuing by the Florida Highway Patrol. This morning, Governor Ron DeSantis appointed Special Agent Matt Walsh of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement as interim sheriff of Clay County. Do you know who Matt Walsh is?
No, I don't.
He is the cousin of John Walsh.
Really?
Just found that out.
Really?
Just seen it pop up right there on my thing.
Wow.
You know what John Walsh does, don't you?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. America's Most Wanted made him famous because of his son Adam getting killed and kidnapped from a mall down in South Florida, 1982. Correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere in there.
We're in the 80s.
Yes,
80s.
early 80s. So, and then that's what prompted him to do what he's doing.
And he's still continuing on this day.
Yep, with In Pursuit, right,
That's
with
right,
John
In
Walsh.
Pursuit. Yep.
DeSantis would not explain why he brought in someone from the outside agency rather than elevate Under Sheriff Ray Walden, who manages day-to-day operation for the sheriff's office. Daniels is charged with evidence tampering and 3 counts of knowingly giving false information to law enforcement. The governor suspended Daniels yesterday. 24 hours he turned himself in to face the charges.
Wow.
Daniels did not resign as sheriff, ladies and gentlemen, nor has he ended his efforts for re-election, choosing instead to fight the criminal charges. Even if Daniels is re-elected, he cannot return to the office unless he is acquitted of those criminal charges. And DeSantis, he's got to rescind his emergency order.
Right, and think about it. Everybody's innocent to proven guilty.
That's exactly
so
right.
we don't know all the ins and outs of the whole relationship, and everything has gone on with this case. I know it's been going on over a year and a half. I believe.
Yes, it has.
It's been at the state attorney's office, and they've been sifting through it. And who's to say he's innocent?
He's innocent.
And he gets his job back in this role. And he made a public announcement, I think, on Friday.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, that's what's so great about this country, Dave, today, that, hey, you get a fair trial. You're innocent until proven guilty. I know some people want to say, well, you're already guilty, you got to prove yourself innocent. That's not the way it's set up.
That's not the way it works.
That's not the way it works. That's not the way our court and our judicial system works. Hey, you're innocent until proven guilty, and it has to be without a reasonable doubt.
Right. And now, if he is guilty of these charges, then he needs to face it just
Absolutely.
like any other citizen.
Anybody
Yeah,
else?
That's right.
I mean, take a look at what's happened in the last 4 years with national politics
Yeah.
with the Russian collusion deal.
Right. Yep.
And now we're finding out that a certain president was innocent of all of those charges.
Exactly right. You're right.
And
Putnam deputies and firefighters worked on a vehicle crash into a house yesterday in the 1400 block of County Road 308 near Crescent City. Power lines were torn down, but there were no serious injuries, thank goodness. Gilchrist County firefighters and paramedics responded to a drowning at Jenny Springs Wednesday afternoon after a snorkeler went under. The victim was resuscitated and transported to the hospital. A semi-driver was arrested yesterday after being stopped in Alachua County for a traffic violation where he refused now to comply with law enforcement. You're seeing a lot of this, ladies and gentlemen, each and every day. No matter if it's local or nationally, you're seeing a lot of it. A search by a canine officer of the truck revealed 15 packages of marijuana weighing over 15 pounds. Well, I'll be damn gone, really. Raul Camino was charged with possession with intent to distribute and is being held on a $5,000 bond. Well, good grief, Mitchell. How about that? The Ocala Art Walk is making its return in September and will run the first Friday of each month through May. Displays and artists will be present with hands-on activities for everyone coming out between 6 and 9. Have you ever done that art walk, Byron? We need probably go do it.
Mhm.
That'd be interesting for all of us to do that.
Mhm.
I'd like to see what Dave would make.
Oh yeah.
Dave, what would you make?
I'm an artist. I mean, I get real creative.
Do you?
It would be spectacular.
I love it. 3 people arrested at Flagsville on Wednesday after a car fled from a traffic stop on US 1 in Palm Coast. The car was eventually stopped with assistance from a Flagler County Sheriff helicopter. Jumping to Duval County, 1 person was killed and 4 others seriously injured following a crash on Old Middleburg Road near 4 Acre Road early this morning. The investigation is continuing. Wow. The major underground work continues for the new State Road 100 overpass and start as the new electrical and sewer work is being installed. In addition, the land is being prepared for the new St. Clair Street extension.
Yeah.
Ongoing detours can be expected, but some good news. Sonny's Barbecue will reopen soon following a major renovation to the building and expanded parking lot on the corner of US 301 and State Road 100 near downtown. Can't wait for Sonny's to open back up, can we, Byron?
Be a good thing.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Love those baked beans.
And I love that sweet tea, too, by the way. They do got some good sweet tea.
Their barbecue egg rolls are good too.
Yes, they are. Here now is your weather update sponsored by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook for the latest information. We saw scattered storms push through North Florida early, and tonight we are drying out and heading into a nice evening. Overnight temperatures will sink down into the mid-70s. I've got a question for you, gentlemen. You know I own on-the-spot lawn care business. Is there any way that I can just put big old lights on my Skag mowers and just mow at night when it's clear.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's what I need to do. But do you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen now? Ring, ring, ring. Hello, sheriff's office. We've got a bunch of mowers out here running, man. Can you come check this out? That's exactly what had happened to me.
You can borrow my John Deere. It's got lights on it.
Well, there you go. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Sunday starts out with partly cloudy skies and warms up into the low 90s. We'll see a midday to early afternoon round of showers and storms pushing across the state from the Gulf. Monday, we start the week off in the mid-70s, not bad, and warm up to about 93 degrees. Expect 50% chances of showers and storms to fire up during the afternoon.
Yeah.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service of Keystone Fights. Find AWS on Facebook and get a local forecast sent right to you.
All right.
Here now is our newest segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's called What's the Year segment. These are the Bradford Telegraph front page headlines for the month of August of what year. I'm going to read you three, and I'll read them again, and you tell me what year. I'm going to give you three guesses on that year. But before we get to that, I want people that are on. I've got a trivia question, David.
Oh, yeah.
Byron, I've got a trivia question for all our viewers. I want to know, the first person that can tell me will get, and I can get Kristen to prove this, will get a $20 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. I want to know what the 13th largest economy in the world is today. What is the 13th largest economy in the world today? I know you know. The first person, y'all got to help me watch this, guys. The first person in with that will get that. Now, here's your headlines. The Telegraph announced the peaches were becoming scarce at $1.50 a bushel. Former Florida Senator Abraham Crosby paid a visit to Stark to meet with our local leaders. While Stark was listed on the front page as the healthiest city in Florida for its size, anyone with diarrhea can use DeWitt's colic and cholera cure for fast relief. Really, Michael? You're not here, so you put me up with that one. All right, what year's...
There, that went right down the toilet.
Yes, it did. These Bradford Telegraph headlines were from the second week of August in what year?
I need a flush.
August 1890. This is a pure guess for you guys. August 1895. August 1900. The answer's coming up. Dave, can we go back? Here now is our What's the Year segment. These are the Bradford Telegraph front page headlines from August of what year? The Telegraph announced that peaches were becoming scarce at $1.50 a bushel. No wonder, because number 3 goes with number 1. Former Florida Senator Abraham Crosby paid a visit to Stark to meet with local leaders. And while Stark was listed on the front page, Byron, as the healthiest city in Florida for its size, anyone with diarrhea can use DeWitt's colic and cholera cure for fast relief. What'd you just say? That went straight down the toilet, didn't it? Yep. Yes, it did. Would that be August of 1890, August of 1895, or August of 1900? 1900. And see where I'm at. August of 1900. That answer's coming up. Let's welcome in some people, guys, while we're waiting on some answers here. Roy Jackson and Kurt Miracle, thank you for joining. Raymond No, thank you. Look what we got, Raymond. Hey, how about that? Kurt, good evening. Sheila Sam, good evening. Connie Wilson, good evening. Kevin Howe, good evening. Lisa Tomlinson, good evening. Raymond No, if it's anything like the strawberry cake she made, it's got to be outstanding. Raymond,
you gotta like key lime.
you got to like key lime, though. You're right.
You gotta like key lime.
David.
If you don't like key lime, you're not gonna like
No,
this.
this is good.
I guess I like key lime.
And I like key lime, too.
I think it's great.
I tore it up.
Sheila Sam said, looks yummy. Hello, guys. What kind of cake did she make? Tell them, Byron.
It's a key lime pound cake. Cake.
Yes, and it's delicious.
Yes, it is.
Good evening, Robert Force. Robert Force is with us. Jimmy Sparks. Hey, guys. Hope y'all all are okay. Have a great night. Looks like a yummy cake. Katie Rainbow says, hello, guys.
Okay, Chuck Smith is on. Melissa Delk is on. Lucy Corbett is on. Cherie Smith is on. And guess who else is on?
Shirley Bagwell is on.
Miss Shirley Bagwell is on.
What does she say?
She hasn't said anything yet.
Okay. Well, Katie Rainbolt is on. Mark Goody's on.
We have a winner on the guest of the 13th largest economy.
Can I get the winner of that, please?
And that would be Mr. Tom Bailey.
Tom Bailey. Did he say
He
Texas?
sure did.
Tom Bailey, you are the winner of that gift certificate. I'll make sure that we get that sent to you.
Now, I don't know if anybody said it before him, but he's the only one that's answered Texas. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what comes up through here. Coach Steve Hort, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better. David, I need a prayer for my cousin. They're going to pull the plug on them tomorrow. You got it. We did say a special prayer for that as well.
There's your guess for that other one.
Sheree says 1900, Dave. So we got a 1900 there. Okay.
Right.
Is he hanging out with Smokey the Bear? Jason Mott, Sarge, what's up? Wendy Russell works over here at our famous EOC office. Welcome in. Robert Forrest, welcome in. Randy Scoggins, welcome in. You just said Lucy and Melissa. Kurt, man, is on. Sheree, get a team together and create artwork that auction them off to raise money for the local food bank, Sheree says. Not a bad idea, Sheree. I like that. Roy Jackson said the USA. Kate said the USA. Sort of close. Jason Vaught, Australia. Eat at the Downtown Grill last Wednesday. Great food. Okay. Australia's wrong, Sarge, but the Downtown Grill will agree with you on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely. What you have, Sarge, by the way? Yeah, you forgot to tell me. Sheree said United States of America. Tom Bailey says Texas. Texas would be the right answer. And you're exactly right. And we're going to get into why we gave you that trivia question here in just a little bit. Mark Udy says 1900, David. So we got two 1900s?
Yeah, got two 1900s.
Okay. Shirley Bagwell says, good evening. Hello, Mom. Oh.
Hello.
As soon as these guys start talking, I'm going to start eating.
I love it when he talks this much.
Yes, I know. Look.
It's gone.
Roy Jackson, 1890, he says. Okay. Anthony Black says 1900. That's three of them. Michelle Starling, hello. How are you? Chuck Smith, hello. Sheree says 1900. Man, that was, well, let's see. Raymond, no, do I need to make another donation?
You going to talk to Mom about that?
Yes, that's exactly right. And Noah Gibson, welcome in. And Noah, for the first time, didn't put a minion on. He just said, hi, guys.
Oh.
He usually's got minions for us
I
everywhere.
wonder if he's okay.
I wonder if he's okay. Dave, who you got?
Oh, man, I got some very important people.
Good.
I got a Lloyd Jobson.
Okay.
Yes, Robert Phillips.
Well, I like Robert Phillips.
And I got Joshua Bradley.
Joshua Bradley.
And I don't know about this guy. Maybe I should mention him.
Okay.
Michael Heater.
Who?
After the
and then this is
diarrhea.
What's it? Well, yeah. Who? What's his
While we're
name?
sitting here trying to eat
Michael Heater.
Michael Heater. Y'all know him?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds
Is he a
familiar.
manufacturer of like heaters?
He is. Yes. As a matter of fact, you're exactly right, Dave.
Well, here's another hard one to
All right.
pronounce.
Okay.
Mitchell Gunter.
Mitchell Gunner's on?
Oh!
Mitt Romney for a second.
That sounds
You're
like
on
you.
Mitchell. That's you, Mitchell.
He's not only on the show, he's in the show.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So we got some
Not
great-
only a spokesperson, but I'm also a client.
Yes, you are. Hey, who do you have, Mitchell?
I've already turned mine off.
Byron,
I'm getting over to the cook.
Byron, who do you have? Just real quick.
We've already announced. I've already
Okay.
announced you all I had.
And
They're
Noah-
pretty much the same tonight as yours. Oh, he's got peanuts going on.
Yes, he does, and I get a big boo, don't I? Is that boo for the cake or boo because he didn't get the right answer?
I don't know.
Good grief.
Probably boo because we're picking on him about the minions.
Well, I'm going to take a guess.
All right.
Has all the guesses in?
So far, yeah.
I'm also going to say 1900.
All right, what are you going to say, Byron?
I want to say 1895.
Okay, Byron's got 1895. Dave, what do you have?
I just want everybody to know that I have not shown the answer.
No, you have
yet,
not,
so
and we don't know. Nobody
none
knows.
of us knows.
No,
yet.
we don't.
And I don't even know.
That's correct.
So I'm going to take a guess. 1890.
You go on 1890. Okay, I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to go because I haven't seen the answer because you have pulled up that other screen. I'm going to go 1895.
All right, got
So we
two
got that.
1900s, 1895, and
Yeah.
1890.
And we got several 1900s. So
Several
we'll get ready.
1900s.
Let me see. Jason Bott said he had the steak, Byron. His son had the Cajun burger. And he said both were awesome.
Good.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah. Absolutely. Bart Norton's home from Louisiana. Hello, Bart. Man, I
Hey,
sure do
Bart.
miss you, brother. I can sure use your help. I promise peanuts this autumn.
Yep.
All right. What's the answer, Dave?
The answer,
is
ladies and gentlemen,
1895. How many of us
Man.
got that, Byron?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, two of us. Byron, we're 1-0.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm 2 and 2 because I didn't.
Oh,
get
that's
the
right.
first one.
Yeah,
I'm the one that gave you the trivia question.
If our viewers got it, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs
If
up
not,
if you-
give us a
the thumbs down if you got it. There you go. Ladies
I
and
think Roy Jackson. No, he didn't either. He said 1890. I'm not sure anybody answered 1895.
no, not on
I've
the,
seen a
not
lot
on
of
the panel.
1900s.
I've seen a lot of 1900s too.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome in on the spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. We're here with you on a beautiful Saturday night at our downtown studios. To my left, your freedom fighter, the guy looking out for your rights and your liberties and your freedoms. Give it up for Mr. Byron Bagwell.
Good evening, Hills.
And
Little
in
green
the
men.
back- And in the back, making it roll, Byron, just like a truck wheel.
Yeah.
You know who that may be? Our producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Thank you, everybody. Hello, and enjoy the show.
Very good. And to my right, he is the local guru. He's the one that takes that screwdriver, works that screwdriver in and out a little bit with all our local politicians, trying to make everything right here in our county. He is the next county commissioner and Frank Sinatra's, what'd I say?
Nephew.
Nephew.
Brother.
Yeah.
Something like
Mitchell Gunner. Hello.
Did we ever figure out who his grandpa was? Or great?
We are well
Okay.
on our way to that, and he's going to be surprised when we get it because
Well, you know, I've done some research and I was wrong because on my mother's side, Robertson actually is not Swedish.
I know what. I know.
Yeah.
And guess where Robertson comes
from yes,
Robert, the
Bruce.
Bruce.
Scottish.
Scottish.
Hey, somebody told me though, Mitchell, is this true? And Dave heard it through the grapevine too. Is it true that you're somehow kin? I don't know if you listen to the Joan of Arc.
I don't know. We'll have to do some research, but
That's what I've heard. I've heard through the grapevine. Somebody's been doing some research on Mitchell's tree. It could be related to Joan of Arc.
I don't see how. Not if I'm Scottish and I'm German.
Scottish and German.
Well, I don't know. Did maybe somebody cross the border? I don't know. Did something happen? Maybe I don't know. But somebody said that you may be kin to Joan of Arc.
We'll have to do some research.
The Scandinavian part of it's actually tied up with Scotland too.
Yes. Okay.
The first king of Scotland, true king of Scotland, was united was Summerlin. His first son was Donald. He founded the clan MacDonald, which literally means son of Donald.
Right.
So
And to finish the introduction, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce the host of the show, David Rodgers.
Thank you for that, David. I sure appreciate that.
Wow.
Hey,
let's
wow.
keep him talking. I'm going to get me another piece
Yeah,
of
I know that's what y'all are doing. Hey, this is Miss Bagwell. Look, It's not that I don't like it. These guys are going, I'm going to cut me another piece.
I think it's got Dave fired up.
It does got Dave fired up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Whoa.
I know it, man. That key lime, I'm telling you, woo.
I'm
But, hey,
wa-
If you
I
like
can't
Key
wait.
It's good.
I can't wait till y'all segments come on. Dave, what do we have behind that screen right
Hey,
there?
look over there. Look over there.
I feel like I'm walking the key line.
Oh, Noah Gibson, I will. Noah Gibson says he wants a movie or quiz question. Okay, I'll give you one here in a minute.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Anthony Black says Mr. Hot Wheels. Is that you?
It could be my nickname as well.
It could be. Noah
Hot
Gibson said,
Wheels.
what? Joan of Arc. Eddie Lewis, welcome in. By the way, I'd like to give you a call, sir. Anytime you'd like to join us on the show, I absolutely love to have you. So come on. Tammy Testone, you know who's saying hello? Alvy.
Hey,
Alvy. But I've got a little bit of a bad news. Alvy is in quarantine for 14 days. So we're going to pray for Alvy.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, buddy. So, Alvy, our prayers are with you, but we're here with you
Yep.
on the spot, your favorite show, watching it with Tammy. Hey, we're right here with you. We're fixing to bring it right to you. So, Mitchell Gunner, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you real quick, like, because I want to eat something. Hey, Mitchell, don't do that. I know you got family in. You got some family in from Georgia, I hear, huh?
Sure did. They came down to St. Augustine. Done some visiting over there Thursday.
Yeah.
And they rounded out their trip by stopping by and seeing us.
That's great. That is good. She's a Georgia Bulldog fan.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, how do y'all get along?
Husband.
Rah, 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 rah.
As
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
long as they stay on their side of the room, we'll get along just fine.
See, she didn't have a problem with the Florida State fan, did she?
Well, they said they don't worry about Florida State because if they played them, they would just tear them up. So
Boo! Boo! All right. Boo! Just like they tore up that Gator tail the last few years, too, huh? Oh! All right. Mitchell, well, go ahead and bring in your local news. What you got for us, brother? Because I know you want to get back to some of your family.
I don't have anything. Over to you, Dave. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the first week of school is in the books. It was very successful. Everybody's getting to the classroom on time. School buses are running their routes just the way they're supposed to. There is a case of COVID that did pop up at Southside Elementary. I don't know if that's a student or a teacher, but everyone that was associated with this person or around this person, they have been put in quarantine. The rest of the class has been moved out, and they will be returning back to school on Monday after they went in and re-sanitized the classroom. So, I mean, this is the new norm that we're going to have to deal with. And, of course, kids usually handle the coronavirus a whole lot better than what us adults do. And I'll get in those numbers a little later on pediatrics and where they're at and how many are affected and how many ER visits. But as far as I know, everything has went smoothly. A lot of parents are very happy with how everything is done by assigning seats to every student, either riding the school bus or in the classroom. So they'll know who's in contact with that person if that person ever becomes positive. So they have done a great job. And of course, you know, I don't have nothing wrong with virtual school, but some students, they just do very, very well with more instruction details in person than they do on the computer. As far as the virtual schools going on, I know our school district is still working on some things, and they've actually have called out to the parents and discussed certain things that's going on with the virtual school. Some of us may have got the call, which our students are in a brick and mortar, so therefore I didn't listen to the whole conversation, but it just goes to show you how involved our school district is about keeping our parents updated with information. Also, as mentioned earlier, the 360 degrees report, construction has been continuing on the overpass on State Road 100, and so the bridge work also on 301. Looks like it's going very smooth. They're out there every day working hard to try to get this thing finished in a fast manner, so that it helps our community to get back on track. And of course, new construction of new roads. I think we're going to have possibly some roundabouts in some areas.
Mitchell, let me ask something. I didn't mean to interrupt you right there. I know Gainesville's got these roundabouts, so big. How do you think it's going to work here? Do you think that's going to work here better? I know you've researched this a little bit. What do you think?
I tell you what, it's going to take people to get used to it there for a while. If you go through an area that's got a roundabout and you do nothing about it, before you know it, you're right up on it. Either you're going to drive up on it or you're going to go flying on the other side. So you have to be very cautious when this goes in, and it will take some time getting used to. I remember going over to Gainesville. I didn't deal with roundabouts because of living over here, and I've almost done it.
Right.
Here's my thought. Always been my thoughts on roundabouts. If you can't grasp the concept of stop, how are you going to grasp the concept of yield?
Right, because you have to yield at those roundabouts. If someone's already there, can't dart out in front of them. You do have to yield the right of way.
Hey, Byron, and I know you guys work in Gainesville, and I used to work over in Gainesville too when I was, a FedEx driver over there. And I know that you have to give some lenient. You have to, in other words, if you're coming up to a roundabout and it's supposed to be your turn, and somebody, just let them go.
You got to pay attention. Not everybody's going to yield like they're supposed to. Just like Byron said, not everybody's going to stop for a stop sign or a red light.
Right.
It just happens.
Yeah. I drive in them all the time and see people do stupid, dumb things in them, and I'm sitting here going, why do they do this? If you can't grasp the concept of bringing a vehicle to a stop, you're never going to grasp the concept of yield.
I think what it does is trying to help with traffic backing up on smaller roads. Is why they're put in there. But like I said, you got to use caution. You have to follow the laws. You have to yield for other cars.
What you just said.
Yep, have to follow traffic laws.
You have to follow the law to be able to do it.
Right.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's fine. Also, I know we have been having a lot of those accidents on the north and southbound sides of the bypass. So I actually hopped on the bypass today and see firsthand what might be going on in these situations. As I was approaching the south end of the bypass out by Walmart, I noticed there are signs up, caution triangles with traffic signals in them.
Mm-hmm.
But right there with those signs is 65 miles an hour. So I'm going to try to talk and see if I can get that speed limit lowered down through that area where those caution signs are showing you that there's a traffic signal up ahead.
Part of the problem with that is 65 miles per hour right there. You come through the traffic light and it turns to 55, which makes no sense at all.
I was wondering about that too.
It's 55 on the backside, when it should also be on the other side.
It really should be about 45 there.
So I'm also going to talk to him about that, and I'm also going to talk to where they have those traffic light cautions signs about putting a flashing beacon there, so when that light's fixing to change red, those beacons will flash to let the truck drivers know, hey, I need to go ahead and start getting on the brakes now, because by the time I roll up there, the traffic light's going to be red.
Right.
And they'll be better prepared to stop. And that's been a lot of the issue. And, like other people have sent pictures on Facebook of cars parked out in the middle of the intersection. This will actually help not just the truck drivers, but also help with regular vehicles. And we'll see what happens. I maybe be able to get something done, or maybe not,
Well, I know the thing with the times that you do get involved with these kind of things, and you come on to the show and report it. It may take 2, 3, 4 shows, before you actually have something in place. You still got to go through the channels too.
Right.
You just know which channels you can go through.
Right. And we're still waiting on what's going to happen with 144th and 100. I've talked about it several times, and the flashing beacon at 21B and 100. And hopefully this week I can find out some more answers, and hopefully before Tuesday night, so I can report what those answers are. But those areas are supposed to be taken care of this month by DOT. So we'll find out if things have changed or something's happened to their budget. But I do know their budget was not cut by Governor Ron DeSantis, because I've already reached out and made that phone call, and they did not get any money taken away from FDOT.
Good.
So,
Yeah, you can't do
yeah,
that.
they got to have money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
is that my fault or your fault?
Well, I actually thought Michael Heater was here because he's the one that usually gets those kind of things there, those kind of alerts. But that must have been your phone. What else you got for us, Mitch?
That's just about it.
Okay.
Just keep up. Remind everyone tomorrow is the last day of early voting,
Yes, good call.
and don't forget to go vote on Tuesday.
Yes.
That's right.
We have a very important race that's on Tuesday. Our sheriff's race. It will be decided in the primary.
Yes, it will.
So
There's not a Democrat running again.
correct. So
So it's
Democrats. So
decided.
Yeah.
it is going to be decided on Tuesday. So it's very important for you to get out and vote anyway on a primary. It is the most important time for me and for you to go vote, because that's where you get to pick your candidate and try to get them on to the next level to the general election.
What time is the polls closing? Different times or all at 7?
Oh, they will all close at the same time.
Because I know our show starts at 7. I would love to be set up in front of the county courthouse maybe to do our show as people are coming out, just getting a feel on how about
Yeah,
voting.
it was a great idea.
Yeah, the problem is they all close at 7. We're just getting ready to go on live at 7, but maybe we could go out there a few minutes early. Who says we can't start the show at 6:30?
And we could
If,
always reach out to Mr. Vaughn
Yeah,
and see if we could set up out there in the parking lot.
that's what I'm saying, in the parking lot.
And
Sure.
go right there, because people
Yeah.
will be coming in and getting their numbers and finding out where they were, if they have won or not. And
Do it
I tell you, it's a very exciting time.
Sure.
And I know a lot of people are going to be glad that the primary's over, so they can get a little break in the mail
Yeah, and that's exactly
with
right.
all the mailers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, wait.
But it will pick back up when we get into probably mid to late September.
Timber? Yeah.
It'll start getting heavy again before a general election. But I just want to remind everybody, tomorrow's the last day of early voting down here at Bradford County Courthouse.
Go vote. People call it your civic duty, and it really
Yes,
is
for
your
sure.
civic duty,
It is.
but it's really more of a civic privilege.
Yes, it is, and I'm glad you said that. That's exactly
Oh.
right.
Oh, you almost made me forget.
Oh, what happened?
We got to get in the COVID numbers.
Before
Before you go,
before
yeah.
you go into the COVID numbers, here's a little local news, guys. And this comes from Raymond No. We served 191 families at the Bradford Food Pantry on Friday. If anyone has a few spare hours on Friday, we can always use some help. Come see us on Friday at 9 if you can assist.
That is
And
very
by,
good.
by saying that, if we got anybody here that's got a member of their family that's in the Boy Scouts, I don't know if they're doing any of that down there, but it gives them a perfect opportunity
Oh, yeah.
to go get those community service hours for them to earn their badges. And I'll tell you, they'll be glad to have you down there to help. And most of the kids that are up there trying to get those community service hours to go through their STAR, their Life, and their Eagle, they're a little bit up in age, and
Yes,
they're
they
a little
are.
bit more mature, and they can handle some of the duties that they need to be done there.
Before you get into the COVID numbers, real quick, Charles McKinney, thank you for joining in. Raymond, no, I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. That was one of the fundraisers that we were trying to get all this money for. We really believe in the food pantry. We believe that there's families and people out there that really need this, and all we wanted to do is our part for that. So I want to thank you and your staff, Mr. Milner, Mrs. Milner, the Hardys, Miss Warren, yourself. Is your mom down there helping already, Byron? but I'm sure she probably
Well,
is.
we'll see what happens.
happens.
There's a whole lot of stuff that they've been doing
Right.
that's been going on with them here recently.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, any chance that you could give those guys, that would be great. Alvy was in that class. It's a special needs class, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So I guess the story that you were talking about, maybe she gave
She's talking
some about the COVID case.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she says Alvy is in that class, and it's a special needs class, 3 to 4 to 5-year-olds. So I'm assuming kindergarten age, pre-kindergarten age, I guess.
Right.
So,
You know, it's just one thing that we have to deal with. We don't want no one to, catch this virus or have complications with it whatsoever. But it is what it is, and we're faced with it every day of our lives. And, they're working real hard to find a cure for it every day. We've also already have medicine out there that will help you defeat it and help you keep from getting it. And even though some people don't want you to take it, it's more of a political thing now, and I'll let Byron deal with that as the show goes
I'm
on.
not going to get on a rant about hydrochloroquine. I think everybody on the show knows how I feel about it.
Right.
I mean,
So my kids are both in brick and mortar. And a lot of people will ask me, say, are they wearing their mask over in Alachua County? Are they wearing a mask? Do they make them wear their mask? Because I know a lot of people over in Alachua County. And I says, well, they prefer you to wear your mask, but it's not mandatory. But the thing is, there is no way that any kid from kindergarten to all the way up to 4th grade is going to keep that mask on all day. And sometimes it can be more harmful than good because the children's taking it off, the children's laying it here, the children's picking it up. They're, maybe throwing it across the classroom, they're picking it up off the floor, they're playing with it at their desk. It becomes contaminated, and they may get something just as bad as COVID that will make them sick.
you give yourself respiratory infections just sitting there breathing through it all day long.
Right.
I've got an interesting
Yeah,
number
but-
for you guys. That's Miss Shelley Rodgers told me. Y'all know she works at the high school. She's the data entry clerk and does a lot of other things there. So she monitored it all week at the high school. David, how about this number for you? She said, David, guess how many percentage of kids wore masks at the high school?
10%.
Really close. She said 85 to 15. Said 85% of the kids were not.
Not worth
15% of the kids were. So that's just to give you a number, ladies and gentlemen, and that's high school kids. So
Right.
what Mitchell and Byron and y'all just said, how do you expect a 6, 7,
Right.
8-year-old to keep a mask on all day? They're not going to do it.
It's really hard, and sometimes I think it may become a distraction in the classroom, but it's just one of those things we have to deal with day by day. I go to work, I have to wear the mask when I go in certain county buildings. Well, actually, all county buildings. And I tell you, I cannot wait till I can get to a point where I've got my own little office, or I'm on the way home. So I don't have to wear that thing because I literally hate wearing the mask.
Please tell me you're washing that thing or throwing it away.
Actually, get the cloth mask.
Mhm.
I keep them for 2 weeks. I wash them in between. After 2 weeks, they go in the trash, and another one goes on my face.
Yep.
Do not
Okay.
keep on washing that same mask and putting it back on your face. It does need to be replaced at least every 2 weeks, is what I was told. And I think also the CDC came out and mentioned something about getting rid of it and getting another one every 2 weeks. I can't say for sure because that's been a little while since I read up on that. But I'll tell you, so far, today was a drop in cases for the state of Florida.
Wow. All right.
So right now, 601,169 people have tested positive over the whole length of time that this has started. New cases today, 6,352. As you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we were running in the 8,700, 8,500 cases per day. So we've seen a little bit of a decrease. Deaths since March is now up to 9,480. New deaths today, 204. And I think last week we were like 270 or 50 or something around
It was
there?
higher than that number.
It was way higher than that. As far as Alachua County, they are sitting at 4,664 positive cases with 61 new cases since yesterday and 1 new death. Those numbers have also came down because if you remember on the last show, it was, I think, 20 more people than that. So we're hoping this trend will keep on going. Baker County's at 1,071 cases with 11 new cases and 0 new deaths, and their death total is still at 4. Bradford County, we're at 570, 9 new cases since yesterday. So the number's starting to, you see the drop there.
Yep.
0 new deaths, 4 deaths total. We'll slide over here to Clay County. Clay County is at 3,517 with 51 new cases since yesterday, but 4 new deaths. And their death total is now at 65. We'll go right here to, oh man, we missed Columbia. We got to do
Yeah, we got to do Columbia.
Columbia is at 3,045 cases with 42 new cases and 2 new deaths, but that number has also dropped since the past couple of days as well. I mean, we want this trend to keep on going.
Doing what it's doing. Yes.
In Duval County, they're at 25,611 cases total, with 209 new cases since yesterday and 7 new deaths. Now, that number is about the going trend for Duval County. Not really seeing a big increase or fall. Flagler County, they're at 1,213 cases total with 27 new cases since yesterday and 0 new deaths. Their death total's holding at 15. And we will go one more county. We'll just do one more. Let's pick.
You want to pick Leon?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, since Anthony Black's on, was Anthony on?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, you saw him on there.
Sure,
Okay.
I saw him.
All right.
Leon County is at 5,493 cases with 73 new cases since yesterday and 1 new death. So they're pretty much staying the same. You know, and the whole thing is when you look at these numbers, you can go online and you can find this the mapping that will break down all the counties.
Scrolled.
So it's a great tool to see, but don't get freaked out over the big numbers that you see up front because those cases are not ongoing. And I would say, you know, plenty of times we would say maybe a quarter of that is ongoing. It's ongoing, you know. We're going to go ahead and do pediatrics since we were talking about school kids.
Sure.
Total cases of pediatrics is 45,415. Pediatric ER admissions, 2,947. Really haven't seen no movement there.
Right.
They're pretty much almost the same numbers that we reported on Tuesday night, and still only 7 pediatric deaths. Now, I know I say only 7. We don't want no child, you know, to die or anyone to die from this illness. It's tough for those families that have to go through it and having to quarantine themselves. As far as prison cases, as of today, 17,770 cases. Prison deaths is at 78. I think last Tuesday we were at 72 or 74.
Yeah, roughly.
So we've had 4 to 6 to 4 more cases there in our prison system. So, and I tell you, you know, we didn't see this on the weather from Austin, but we got 2 storms sitting out there.
Yeah.
One looks like it's going to take a little swipe at the coast like the other one.
Yeah.
The other one's got a
more of a chance.
dangerous path as of right now looking at it. And I want to give my hats off to all of our EMS workers, all of our people that works in
The OC.
EOC, and working with partners of finding places for people to stay and make sure they have the social distancing put in place. You know, we got that little swipe there a couple of weeks back.
Right.
It was a great opportunity to see how everything would work if something really major happens.
Yeah.
So they're doing a jam up job.
Yep.
And that's about all I've got local. So
Before you leave, I've got some numbers from the CDC I want to share. And this is a these are national level numbers. And it was taken from a little while ago. So these numbers are actually going to change in a little way, in some ways, but they're going to change in better ways than worse ways. As when this was taken, which is about a month ago, there was 47,313,367 people in the United States that had been tested. Negative tests in the United States were 42,942,304. The negativity rate was 90.76. The positive tests in the United States were 4,370,863. The positivity rate was 9.24. Now, the total deaths from this country were 139,659. The death rate as a percentage of positive tests was 3.2. Now, listen to that again. The number of deaths from the number of positive rates was 3.2%. The death rate as a percentage of total tests was 0.3.
Less than 0.5%.
The population of the United States is 331 million people. The mortality rate for this disease is 0.04. Let me say that again. The mortality rate for this disease is 0.04.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with people who have pre-existing illnesses, you know, and people with diabetes, those who just got finished fighting cancer, those with cancer, high blood pressure is a factor.
Pneumonia,
as
any
well.
of all that.
Yeah, if you've had pneumonia before.
Obesity is another one.
Obesity. So there's several things that with the
Our
coronavirus
veterans.
that can cause it to be fatal, you know. And those people, they should take all the precautions that they need to take to stay safe. You know, and we have to take the precautions to stay safe by either wearing masks, keeping our hands washed all the time,
Social distancing.
And I'll tell you, the number one place right now that is nasty that you can touch, and a lot of people forget to wash their hands because they're in a hurry all the time, is touching that gas pump handle and filling up your gas tank, getting in your car, going, you know what, I'm hungry, I'm going to run by McDonald's, get them a bag of fries and a Coke.
That's the number one thing, right?
How about this?
Or wiping your
This
nose.
is the number one thing right there, isn't it?
Yep, or these.
That's dirty. That cash is the dirtiest thing in the world. I do want to give everybody a great piece of news.
Thank you, Dave. I needed that.
No problem.
The chances of you not dying from COVID-19 is 99.9%. Let me say that again. The chances of you not dying from COVID-19 is 99.96%.
Do you know what else has got 99.9% all over it? Lysol, doesn't it? Same thing as Lysol. Lysol kills 99.9% of the germs, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you're pretty much assured the same rate
Same
of
rate.
dying from COVID-19 according to the numbers.
Right.
Now,
But you still got to take those precautions, though. So don't just say,
no.
"Oh, it's only
No,
0.04%. I'm not going to catch it." No, you still have to take precautions. You still have to practice good hygiene
don't be
and
stupid.
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid because it can kill you.
Go ahead, Dave.
But you don't need to be running around going, the world is coming to an end because of a virus that has a survivability rate of 99.96%. That's ridiculous. That we're being fed a line.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Go ahead, Dave.
I use Lysol all the time.
Yeah.
they've stopped selling it to the public.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
cannot get it in
It's
any
hard to get.
store.
It's
Are
hard to
you
get.
kidding me?
It's hard to get.
Wow.
It's hard to get. Yeah.
Government agencies are buying them.
You can get off-brand. You can get an off-brand name, but you can't get
Yeah,
the license.
everybody's buying it like that so they can use it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much about our school board that's using it. I know they're using wipes to wipe down desks and stuff, say at the
Right.
high school and middle school, between their classes. They have to go through there, and the teachers have to clean all the desks and everything. And our school board is using the sprayers on the bus to sanitize, which is peroxide in a mist form. But yeah, other government agencies are buying up all of this stuff for supplies
Yeah.
to use for their agencies and stuff. So,
Well, say hello to Miss Creighton, by the way. She's on.
hey, Miss Creighton.
Hey, Stacy.
There you go. Charles McKinney said, we're talking about the roundabouts. Someone should have talked to them about the way they designed it to begin with. It's ridiculous.
No, I think he's talking about the overpass, not the overpass, but the
bypass.
Oh, the bypass.
Yes.
Okay. Was he thought? Because then Sarge come back and says, I've used those roundabouts in Live Oak and on Camp Lejeune. So I think he was talking about the roundabouts.
Oh, maybe it is.
Never had a problem
But I don't
with
know
it.
how many they're going to have in place. I think maybe there's
Three.
only going to. There's three. Okay,
Okay.
three roundabouts.
How long has that roundabout been in Live Oak? I know the roundabout he's talking about.
Yeah.
Sarge, I do too. Sarge, how long has that been on? If you're still on, how long has that been around there? Shirley Bagwell says she voted early. I voted early too, and your cake is absolutely delicious.
It was great.
It was awesome.
Unanimous vote.
I'm going to go home and slap my wife. It was so good.
Let me.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Sheriff,
Oh, my God.
Sheriff, I was joking. Sheriff.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Yeah, and you do that now. I have a feeling.
I don't even know
I
what
have a
that
feeling.
is.
I have a
Slip of the
feeling.
tongue,
I'm
yeah.
back with a black
Yeah,
I
eye.
was just going to say.
I'm back with a black eye.
It's a figure of speech.
Hey,
Figure
no,
of speech.
Nicole's going to give you a figure of speech. Hey, the next time you're going to have that big eye, what are you going to say? Nicole hit me right in the eye.
Hey, you know you can't say that sort of stuff if you're going to run for public office. The next thing you know, you're a woman hitter, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I wouldn't dare.
Kurt Merrill says,
I
I was
know.
wondering the same thing about Tuesday. What about that? I guess us taking a live show. Roger Cruz is on. Hello, Rog.
Hello, Roger.
Vincent D. Tucker, good evening. From Arizona way.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Tuck and Z and Tuck. Every Thursday night at 10:30.
That's right.
7:30 here, right?
That's right.
No.
Y'all boys.
No, 10.
Oh, let's see if y'all agree.
10:30.
10:30 our time, 7:30 those guys' time. They haven't been on. Have you seen what Tuck's been doing? He's been doing a little radio thing with some music for the last couple of weeks, I guess, while Z's been gone.
Yeah.
Z was on Lake Champlain, Illinois or something, man. He says, heck with this thing, man. I'm going to have a good time. Everybody looked like they was having a good time. And everybody on that boat was a good-looking person. I'll just say that.
Oh, I want to mention something real quick before I go, David.
Yes.
I talked to a person at work, and they had a family member or a friend that went down to SeaWorld
Right.
for a weekend. They said, I kid you not, there was probably no more than 50 to 100 people in the whole park
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Wow.
because of the COVID thing. So if you want to go to SeaWorld,
Go to
this
SeaWorld.
might be
SeaWorld.
the perfect time to go to SeaWorld, and you won't have to fight the crowd.
Man, we should all make a little trip. Let's go to SeaWorld. Golly. I bet you can get, what are the ticket prices? Still the same?
Yeah, man.
I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
know.
Doesn't
I
matter.
imagine they,
Doesn't matter.
they probably do have special rates for Florida residents. They
Yeah.
usually do during the summer.
Yeah.
I'm okay
Here's
with
a-
that.
yeah, but that's down by a great place. We could get some fresh seafood and bring it
Yes,
back.
we could.
I know exactly where to go to do that. There is a little market that's basically right across from SeaWorld that has really great fresh seafood. And if the same guy is there that's still selling hot
Uh-huh.
sauce,
There you go.
we bring some of that back, and he's got all sort of between almost non-existent heat and to burn you up completely type heat.
Ooh.
I think
Different
another
types
place.
of stuff too.
That you can go and catch a really good show, and they're open right now, and they've been running advertisements on Facebook. That's Medieval Times.
Times.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I imagine they're doing the social distancing practice and stuff in there.
Hey,
They're not
doesn't
selling
matter.
as
That's fine.
many tickets, and I've never been, but I've talked to people who have, and they said
It's a
they had
restaurant,
a
right?
wonderful time. Actually, you sit like in an arena,
Yeah.
and they perform. They do the jousting and everything
Fights,
down there.
Feed the chicken with no.
No silverware. You
Yeah.
have
No
to eat
silverware.
everything with your hands.
But a
just
big
like they
old
did.
drumstick turkey leg type
Yeah.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
That's how I eat now.
You know, Mitchell, it's a great point that you bring up. If you want to do something right now, these places are open.
It's a
This
great
is a
opportunity.
great time to do it. Because I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not going to beat this because I know you got to go. You know, I don't know what the new norm's going to be. I don't know what it is.
I
And-
do.
and-
I can tell
So-
you what the new norm's going to be for me is going to be the old norm.
Well, I get it, and that's going to be the new norm for me as well. But I don't know how businesses and different
Right.
different establishments is going to call the new norm. I know what us is going to be,
Well,
but eventually these businesses are going to get back to operating again, and it's going to be to get back as busy as heck. So right now, as Mitchell said, if you want to do anything, a beach trip, go down to Orlando to visit one of our theme parks, whatever it is you want to do, you ought to do it right now. You're wide open.
I know my family, they've been at St. Augustine since Thursday, and they said as they got closer to the weekend, it did get more crowded.
Sure.
But when they walked downtown, it wasn't shoulder to shoulder like it used to be.
Right?
I know when me and Nikki went there with the kids, it definitely was not busy at all.
Right.
It was very easy to get in and out. You could pull into the old Fort parking lot, and you can find a spot like that, and that usually doesn't happen.
No,
it doesn't.
No.
It usually takes you about driving around
Five
five
times.
six times
Yeah.
before you can find one. But yeah, I mean, try to make those trips,
Yeah.
especially if there's not a lot of people. That helps you with social distancing. You help those communities that make money and those businesses
Sure.
and stuff, and you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
So-
I
It's a
agree.
really good restaurant.
and we were this close actually going to St. Augustine, and I was going to call you about missing the show because I was going to try to go Friday night. Saturday night they had a big cars and coffee event at the Classic
fun.
Car Museum there in St. Augustine. If you've never been there, it's really neat to see. You can look it up on your Facebook. They probably have close to maybe 80 to 90 cars inside their building, and it's all air conditioned.
Oh
So
man.
you won't heat to death. And
That sounds like
very,
fun.
very nice place. These two guys that have set up there. And if you got a classic car that you're wanting to sell, guess what? You can park it there and you can consign it with them, and they'll help sell it for you. So
All kinds of great things.
get
Well,
a little publicity there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mitchell,
All right, I
it's
want
been great.
back to
All
my
right,
family.
Sure.
hey,
Take
get back
care
to
of
your
yourself,
family. That was Mitchell Gunner, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see him again on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later.
Whoa! Whoa!
I wouldn't do
Dave,
that.
will you
Your girl's
tackle
up
him?
front's already been promised a piece of that.
I got his
Will you
ankles.
tackle him? You might get hurt on the way.
Want to take a piece home with you?
No,
Yeah, seriously, it's
Seriously, take
Oh,
one.
I'm full.
Maybe Nikki,
After all
take
that
one for
night,
Nikki may want to try. There you go. Maybe your family. Yeah, tell them. Yeah, there you go. While he's doing that, Lisa says, I've already voted. Children chew on their mask all day. Mark Moody says, I agree. Ellen Williams, thank you for joining in. The thing that nobody mentions is the daycares have been open and there's not been a problem.
That's
And
correct.
we're talking with the kid, we're taking kids with the runny noses and the ones that puts their fingers in their ears, their nose, and their mouths. She's right.
All right.
I haven't heard too much about that. Raymond, no thanks needed. David, my wife Sherry, and I truly enjoy helping our community. My 60-year-old back tries hard, so young bodies are always appreciated. I feel you, Raymond. Yeah, we'll try to send you some young bodies down. I'm 58, brother, and I can feel it every day, the things that I do. None of us are spring chickens anymore, but hey, we'll try to send you some help down there. Hopefully somebody's watching the show says, I want to go down there and help the Bradford County Food Pantry. What do you think?
Yeah.
I would love to. I just can't. Maybe when I'm off work one day, I'll
If it was
go.
on a Monday or Tuesday, I'd be able to.
Can't do it on Fridays.
Friday's
Yeah,
Friday's a
that's,
big day
that's-
for me.
Yeah. So what happened with the Clay County Sheriff? Tom Bailey wants to know.
Oh, hey, Aunt Melba.
Well, yeah, Melba, that's her name.
That's me.
All right. Hey, how you doing, Miss Melba? I'll tell you what. Have you had some of Miss Bagwell's beautiful cake?
She hadn't had that one because that's the first
No,
time
she hasn't. But I bet she's buzzing your mom now. Hey, how about a piece of that cake?
Turn up Johnny a bit.
Anyway, there's an investigation going on. Tom lives in Alabama, by the way. It's probably why he hadn't heard or he hadn't been following on. But he's from here and he's lived here before. He's under investigation for certain charges that he needs to face up to. Ron DeSantis come in and thought it was time to make a change with that. So he did, and he put Matt Walsh in as the acting sheriff over there. As these charges that Sheriff Darnell is facing right now. He's still running for sheriff. If he gets elected somehow or another, he won't be able to take that office until he's cleared of those charges. So we'll keep you informed. I know Mitchell's all over that story. Me and Byron and Dave talked about
it. All revolves around a mistress that he
said, yes.
That's what it all revolves around.
Yeah. So, how about Leon? About the same, Anthony. I know you probably came on late.
He gave the numbers after that comment.
After that comment,
I believe so.
Okay, so about the same, Anthony, on those numbers there. My makeup friends, Marie and Tori, gave some stuff to. They were going down there. Family had been hit from men and women's shoulder. They're going. Okay. Couldn't follow that one there, Byron. If you could follow that one, Kurt Miracle's back on. Nancy Roberts is on. Roy Jackson's on. What happened is we had a little freeze according to one of our viewers. Did you see that? Yeah. Had a little bit of freeze, but back up and running well. Miss Bagwell says if you pump gas, just put a plastic grocery bag on your hand and peel it off afterwards. Lysol is awesome. Very good. Jason Bond, Sarge says at least 5 years or more, Byron. Not sure of it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's that roundabout that you were talking about, at least 5 years or so. So Byron has been through there, so he knows exactly what you're talking about. It's a political virus. If we look back 4 years ago during election time, we had viruses then too. Exactly right, Kurt Miracle.
We've had viruses now. I'll stop that. For a long time.
Phil Jackson says, Mitch for county commissioner. Hey, he's got my vote, got Byron's vote, he's got Dave's vote. Hey, we're going to help him. We're going to be his campaign people.
Yeah.
Dwight just got out of the lake after eating smoked Boston butt and 3-cracker cowboy beans.
Hey, that's all right, because we've been eating that key lime pie cake, too.
Does he know about that? Did you show Mr. Allen what we're eating?
Dwight seen.
I don't know if Dwight's seen
I don't know if Dwight likes key lime either.
I'm not sure either.
If he got a taste of that, he'd like it.
Boy, you ain't kidding, he would. Only difference is the side that hates this president versus the last side. Yeah, hit it right there, Charles McKinney. Lisa says, sounds delicious. Now, I don't know if she's referring to this cake or Dwight's Boston butt and cowboy beans. But all of it's good.
Oh, yeah.
All of it's good. Delicious.
Boston butts, what I think she was.
Yeah. No silverware. I'll just use my pocket knife. Talking about that big turkey leg. And Dawson's Worth services on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, we just heard our local report, got into quite a few things with Mitchell Gunner. He's got family in town, so he had to leave. Now, it's down to the three amigos, baby. It's down to your host, David Rodgers. To my left, you haven't heard him much right now. He's chimed in a few things here and there. Mr. Byron Bagwell and our producer, Mr. Dave Allen. Want to know where Michael Heater's at? Well, he's up in the Carolinas, sitting in a hot tub right now, sipping martinis. Guess what? While we're down here slaving and doing this show, Byron.
You can have the martinis. I won't let you say
Yeah! I haven't shut up enough to eat the second piece that you gave me. But I'm fixing to.
Well, I figured you were going to.
Yeah, I'm fixing to.
Well, I'm going to do the same thing that you did to me when I was trying to eat mine. I'm going to keep on interrupting you while I got your mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what.
I saw how it was.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, you got several minutes.
Hey,
so
brother,
I'm going to turn it right over to you, Byron. What you got for us on the national level?
Well, there was a bill introduced today in California that just says everything you need to know about the group who controls California. Basically, the California Congress, Senate, government introduced a bill for the people who leave California to be taxed for another 10 years after they've left the state. In other words, you get fed up with their crap, move to another state, and they're going to tax you for another 10 years as a California citizen. But you guys think about that. I know what my answer to that is. I know how you fix it, too. Really, there's a simple way to fix
Here
it.
you go. Thank you.
He's putting the bull crap card on it, and it's right. It's right there. That's bull. You know, there is a way to fix that, too.
Yes, there is.
Quit electing Democrats. I mean, that's about that. I'm telling you, that's about one of the most tyrannical things I've ever heard in my life. The founding fathers would have shot them, I can tell you, because they shot people for not being represented and being taxed. So you go to another state, and you're not even a citizen of that state, and the state's still taxing you. Think about that for a second. Another way, the states you move to need to pass bills saying that you're exempt from the California tax. California couldn't do a thing to you once you lived in another state if they exempted you from it. But I come across that, and I was sitting here going, we don't hear anything about stuff like that now. How corrupt would you have to be as a person, let alone a politician, to want to basically tax somebody when they don't live in your area of the country? That's not constitutional. It'll never stand if it's ever challenged in the courts anyway. But they introduced a bill to tax people who leave their state for the next 10 years. I mean, that is insane.
Crazy.
That's insane. That's worse than just partisan politics. That's insanity right there. You know, there's all sort of nonsense that's going on with that. New York has a law that says that if you live in New York over half of the year, that they can tax you as a New York citizen. So, and this man is.
I'm telling you right now,
Does
I'm
that
just
answer
letting
your
you know.
question about the cake? It's good. This is the second piece that he's eating. Okay, so we've got California out of the way. Now, how many of you out there, and I know most of you out there have listened to this and listened to talk about this before. In the national news at the beginning of the last 4 years, we got something called Russian collusion. And Donald Trump was a Russian spy.
Bless you. You okay?
That's the BS card.
Hey, I'm calling the BS card on that, by the way. Thank you. No, that's not what that was. That really out my allergies. You're going crazy for some reason. Anyway, so Donald Trump has been called all of this stuff. It was predicated, all of this, on something called the Steele dossier. This is how the Steele dossier came about. The DNC, the Democratic National Committee, and the Hillary Clinton campaign hired lawyers who hired a firm called Fusion GPS to find out on Donald Trump. That group went to someone called Steele, who was MI3 or MI5 or one of those British agents, who went to Russia, to a bar, and talked to some Russian oligarchs. Writes this report up called the Steele dossier. Comes back, gives it to them, and says, yeah, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, he would testify in court in Britain that it was unverified. Later on, he would tell the FBI and the CIA that it was unverified. So we start this whole entire witch hunt. Well, that in itself sounds like a silly little political game until you start involving the FBI and a former administration in something called wiretapping. Not just regular wiretapping. It was done through the FISA courts. FISA is a secret court that basically is created to put a check on terrorism. Is what it's originally intended to do. So they take this dossier, and all of a sudden, Donald Trump is a Russian agent, and we need to wiretap him, and we also need to wiretap Carter Page. Well, the first domino has fallen this week, and that first domino is an FBI lawyer, ex-FBI lawyer. Everybody's made sure to say that. But this FBI lawyer by the name of Kevin Kleinsmith. What Kevin Kleinsmith did to help get one of these FISA warrants was he basically said that Carter Page was not a CIA asset. But guess what? The same Carter Page that was in the Donald Trump administration, or in the not administration, but the campaign. It was campaign administration is what it was. It was actually a CIA asset. So what he did after he gets this email from the CIA saying that he wasn't an asset to the CIA, changes the wording of it, forwards it to the FISA court, which is an outright lie. He is pleading guilty to the charge, the single charge, that has been laid out on him now. So that is where all of this is going to start unraveling. I've been saying for a long time there's charges coming. We have the first. Got some news for you. With what this Kleinsmith cat did, there should be 10 or 15 charges on him. Part of that, when I originally heard it, made me very angry. And I thought, nope, I'm not angry at all. Because how is he only charged with one charge when they could have unloaded on this guy?
Because he's going to roll over.
The answer to that is because he already has rolled over.
Yep, rolled over.
So what's coming next? And trust me, things are coming next because there's a grand jury involved with it. The whole entire thing. So all of those people that we're talking about, Trump's a Russian asset, and you're still hearing that from some of the media, they're lying through their teeth. They're liars. Period. This charge and this plea of guilty to this last week from Kleinsmith is the beginning salvo in something that's going to uncover a lot of corruption that stems right back to our prior administration. And it wouldn't surprise me to the Democrat nominee for president, because he was there during a lot of this. He's admitted to being there to a lot of this. So I wanted to explain all to people that's complicated in a way, but it's not really complicated, about what happened with this. And I want to know why the only place that I heard anything about it at all, really heard something about it other than the passing 5 seconds, was Fox News. Why am I not hearing this from the other news media organizations? And I've got an answer for that too. Know why I've got an answer for that too? Because they're complicit in this.
Right.
They were pushing a Democrat narrative. Every time I see this and talk about this, it infuriates me. Because they attempted a coup on a sitting president. Not a violent one, but they used the force of our CIA and FBI and our intelligence agencies to try to oust a sitting president. You need to think about that. Because when we were talking about this months and months and months ago, we were right-wing nutbag conspiracy theorists. Now that it's actually happening, and we're starting to get charges on these people, I want an apology. Not going to happen, but I want it from the news media. That's the first group that I want it from. If you don't, I'll never watch you again, just like I haven't been for the past year and a half, 2 years since you started this crap.
All right, I've got a question for you. Well, more of a, I'm glad that you went into that because I know some people, I haven't actually seen it on our comments, but I know some people's, what's the Steele dossier? Some people don't, and that doesn't mean that you're out in left field or whatever. Maybe just don't follow it as close. I'm glad that you explained what the Steele dossier was and the FISA courts because some of our viewers may not have dug that deep and understand what was going on or doesn't follow it as close as we follow it.
Here's the thing,
I'm glad you did that.
An average person who does not keep up with politics, you start talking about something like this when it's not actually unfolding and you actually can't prove it.
Right.
What they're going to do is they're going to look at you like, this is not involved in my life.
Right.
I'm not listening to this because, quite frankly, it's conspiracy theory, and you should be wearing a tinfoil hat. I knew this wasn't conspiracy theory to begin with, because 3 years ago, Steele had to testify in England
Correct.
about this, and he said the document was unverified in a court of law. And yet we kept on pushing this narrative, all revolving around the Steele dossier. They got 5 FISA warrants to continue to spy, first off, on a citizen of the United States before he was elected president. And guess what, folks? It continued after he was president. I guarantee you it did.
Oh, yeah.
It may not have happened long. But they spied on him until he started catching on to them. So, tread very lightly with what you do about rumors and speculations, especially when you start talking about, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Democrat president or a Republican president, about their ties to foreign country. Because that's serious business. Part of the reason that we have lived through this HE double hockey sticks for the past 4 years is because of this nonsense. And it was created by the DNC, the media, and the deep state. And by the deep state, I mean plants in the FBI and the CIA and our bureaucracy from the Barack Obama administration. And it infuriates me that we've had to deal with this because they've lied through their teeth. Now, there are a lot of people that are not going to believe that at all. When Comey and Strzok and the other page are duck marched out in chains, still not going to believe it. Oh, that's all going to be a setup. But it wasn't a setup from the Republican side. It was a setup from the DNC and Hillary Clinton. I need to back off of this one a little bit because it really this makes me this doesn't just make me impassioned. This makes me furious, David, because no president deserves this.
Right.
Nobody deserves this. And the reason I say nobody deserves this because if they can do that to a person who is running for president and is eventually a sitting president, what can they do to us? I can't defend myself with $2 or $3 million worth of lawyer fees.
Right.
We'll be sitting in a prison cell somewhere.
Now, let me say this. It's a good point that you brought up and what you said about, this shouldn't be done to anybody. And I guarantee you, folks, if Joe Biden gets elected president in November, the same thing.
This is going away. We're never going to know what actually happened.
What actually happened.
Totally happened to this, unless it comes out in, guess what?
October. Right.
As an October surprise.
Right.
We're waiting.
Now, let's just say Biden gets elected president. All right. Who's to say the same thing isn't going to happen to him?
They're not. No, it's not going to happen to him because Republicans don't act like Democrats when it comes to this.
They don't. But what if the rumor mill starts flying around? You know what I'm saying?
About what, David? What rumor mill can possibly fly around about Joe Biden that's not true?
Well, I'm talking about
he's got
stuff,
dementia.
stuff maybe that maybe we're not privy to at this time. Let's
I mean,
put it that way.
David, what else? How, I mean,
Well, what
he
if?
sniffs little girls.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
he sniffs little girls. He has.
Yep.
He gets a kick
I
out of
agree.
children rubbing his leg hairs. He has actually
Like
been
the chicks.
indicted in the Ukraine for his involvement with bribing the Ukrainian president to fire the lead prosecutor in the Ukraine. Now, that's happening right now.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. What if this stuff? What if this stuff, as we're going through this presidential election right now, this election time that we're going through, what if we haven't gotten? And I guess because I'm trying to, what if we haven't gotten to a point where we have closed this off with him as far as what you're saying, as that with the Ukraine, and it's continuing on when he's in his presidency? Isn't it the same thing as Trump? Even though the Republicans aren't perpetrating it, isn't it just a carryover?
It's going to be.
That's what I'm asking.
And if I have a majority, and I'm a majority leader in the Congress,
in the Congress, yes,
or I am the majority leader in the Senate, I'm going to push the Congress to impeach him. And see, this is another part that bothers me really bad about this.
See, that's what I was saying. Carryover.
Because this man is not going to be president for long. If he's president, he's only going to be president for 4 years if he lasts that long because of stuff like this. And then you get Kamala Harris if he doesn't last the whole entire time. Think about that. The most liberal senator when she was in the Senate. Think about it. I mean, you're literally dealing with Pedo Joe and a Lion Ho. Literally.
Yep.
I don't understand. I understand people don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is crass when he speaks. That's because Donald Trump's from where he's from. They're blunt. They're honest. From that generation, they speak their mind and they say what they think. But there's a difference between somebody that's crass and somebody that you literally can watch a video and go, this guy's a creeper. And this woman did what she did to get to the top, which I'm not going to say out loud on this show because I have a little bit more manners than that.
Right.
And she is a political opportunist that uses whatever political form she wants while she is in California as a prosecutor, and then swings so far left when she's in the Senate, she's voted more liberal than Bernie Sanders. So, I personally don't get this. This is part of the reason why I left the Democrat Party.
Right.
How can you nominate people like that? How in your right mind can anybody vote for either one of those people? Well, not to mention what they're going to do to this country with their policies after they're elected, if they're allowed to. And I don't think they're going to win by any long shot. I think it's going to be an electoral landslide for Donald Trump, and he may even win the popular vote. But if they do win, we best give the Republicans the Congress and the Senate back. Because if they pass their energy plans, they pass their deals with the Second Amendment, this country's going to end.
Yep.
It's going to be over. And people will say, well, it just won't be like it was.
No.
I honestly think it's going to end. Because if you pass the new Green Deal, the 13th largest economy in the world is leaving this country. They have a right to secede written not only in their state constitution, but in their agreement with the United States. They leave whenever they want to. They will be completely gone. And when that happens, the other oil-producing states and coal-producing states will follow right behind them.
Meaning Oklahoma,
North Dakota,
South
South
Dakota,
West Virginia,
and Kentucky. And the coal.
Virginia has got
It's
some
got
of it,
some of it.
got some of
Yep.
it too. Don't
Yeah.
be surprised if Florida and Georgia follow right behind it,
Yeah.
because I am telling you, if
Florida can sustain itself.
Florida is one of the top 25
Right.
economies in the world too.
Yeah.
So what? Look, if they pass that junk, I really am afraid for this country's future.
So you think if they pass, if he
If
gets
they pass
elected, and this energy bill, you think we're going to have states secede?
I think Texas is gone.
Definitely, you think definitely
Secede is the wrong word for Texas, because they're not seceding.
because they're not.
They're
Right.
leaving by contract.
Right.
They're leaving. They can leave.
Right.
And when that happens, how do you can't sustain this country and the social programs in it without the state of Texas's economy. You can't do it. What is this country going to do when they make Texans so mad that they leave? And people
Hey, look, they're producing oil. Texas. Let me tell you what they're producing oil. Producing cattle.
Well, yeah.
They're producing crops. Natural gas.
I mean, the list
goes on and on, but that's why we're saying about this.
And then when you take Oklahoma out of that figure, there ain't nothing but oil fields in Oklahoma and cow pastures.
And cow pastures. That's
And about 3 or 4 decent sized cities. That's about all that's in Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma,
and some
and I
good
go
deer.
to Oklahoma every year, and some really big deer.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love Oklahoma, but I'm telling you, they passed that green stupidity, and I use that term just like I want to do, green stupidity. They passed that mess, and there are states that are going to leave this union. And then the next question is, well, we'll stop them. Will who?
Will who? Yeah.
Will who? Now you tell me that a group of people that hate Republicans as much as the Democrats hate Republicans, and I'm talking not only about the politicians and their constituents, because they've lost their minds too now. You're telling me they're going to stop people from leaving? Oh, we'll do this on our own. No, you won't. No, you won't. Really think about who you're voting for, because I'm telling you, if that bunch that Joe Biden has put around himself gets elected, this country is in deep trouble if the Senate and the Congress aren't Republican held. We're in deep trouble.
Byron,
I'm
hey,
in deep trouble.
I've got a question for you guys, and I got a question for our audience. And you don't have to answer it right now as we get ready to shut the show down here. We've gone a great deal, and we've had a great show so far. But I want to propose something. I proposed it to Byron. He gave me an answer a few days ago, but I just want to see if y'all's answer are the same. What do you think, if you're not a Trump supporter, let's just put it that way, if you're not a Trump supporter, you know what I'm fixing to ask, right, Byron? Why do people, what is the reasoning? Why do people hate Donald Trump so much?
Because he's crass, and they've been told to
Because he's not right. Because he's not. He's not.
I'm sorry.
Orthodox. No. Because he's not straight lined. I didn't know that you had to be straight lined to be president.
You know.
I hear different answers from different people. Well, what is it that you don't like about him? Well, first of all, I think he's he's been called a racist. I think he's a racist. So I prove it.
I can disprove it with 3 things.
So yeah, me too. The second thing is he's too brash. Well, I'm brash at times. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to like me. Everybody's not going to like you, and everybody's not going to like you. We sometimes. Hey,
people don't like me. People don't like me all the time that watch this show from the other side. That's not for me to do. I'm here to try to inform people and
right. That doesn't mean that I can't break bread with you at the end of the show. If you want to meet at the restaurant after this show and y'all want to eat, that's fine.
That hat up here.
So
this hat up here, I was not wearing during the primaries.
No, you wasn't.
4 years ago. I was wearing it. We're the one that said Ted Cruz. I am now because what he's done for this country is the best I've seen since Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
So
I just want to get your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah, I just don't.
It's not my personal opinion,
Okay.
but what I think is people are seeing is a president that's not politically correct.
Right.
there is the trigger term.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question: Why does anybody have to be political?
And that's what I was just saying in my.
Do
you have to be?
There's a point where you have to have some common decency towards people, but when you start trying to appease people because it hurts their little feelings, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that anymore.
Before Donald Trump ran for president, a lot of people out there was tired of the political correctness.
That's right.
And when he came on the show,
Right.
he annihilated politically correctness,
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
which pulled a lot of people on his side.
Well, you take a look at some of the most famous Democrat politicians in the world. They weren't politically correct at all.
No.
You take a look at who they're running now. Joe Biden has been so terribly politically incorrect so many times in his life.
Right.
It's not even funny. Calling people dog-faced pony soldiers.
Right.
I mean, saying you're not black if you don't vote for me.
That's about as racist term as I can
That's
say.
racist.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
right.
It's not just racist; it's politically
You're
incorrect.
Yeah.
But it comes from a Republican side, and all of a sudden he's Hitler or Mussolini or somebody like that. I'm like, y'all have lost your minds.
Look.
I mean, it's nowhere near that. He's more akin to Andrew Jackson and FDR than he is to anybody else. And people go, "No, he's not." Yes, he is. He's a centrist, and really, he's more center than they are, but not much.
Let me say this, and you're right. You guys are right. Donald Trump, since he's been president, has done everything that he said he was going
Not
to do.
everything, but
Close to it. Yes, because
that he could personally.
he would. Okay, let me back up. He would have done everything that he said he was going to do if he wasn't fighting for his job on an impeachment. Then all of a sudden a COVID-19, and then all of a sudden an unjust and in this country where Antifa thinks they're trying to run everything. So, and BLM, I forgot about them as well. So if he wouldn't have had to fight all this, those other things that was on that document, he would have gotten done.
Let me say one thing.
Okay.
I want to say one thing about this. Donald Trump would have kept every promise that he made during that campaign if it wasn't for the Republican Party. Tell you why. Because when they had a chance to repeal Obamacare, they didn't.
Well, they didn't. You're right.
And that's not on Donald Trump. That's on the party that Donald Trump run under. I don't think Donald Trump's a Republican. I don't think Donald Trump's even a conservative, to tell you the honest truth. He's just a businessman that's got a lot of sense and understands people and understands economics. He understands capitalism. So, Dave, I get so
Well,
frustrated with all
and
this
that's what I'm saying. I
this
mean,
crap.
you got to weigh out everything. I mean, look, during his term, we at one time we had the lowest unemployment rate in
5 months ago, we
Yeah.
had the lowest unemployment
since
rate.
1969
And for some
ever,
sections of our population, ever.
Right.
And it's coming back, by the way. The numbers are
Right.
beginning to look good again.
Created more jobs.
By the way, we're right at where we were when Barack Obama left office.
Hey, created more jobs. He created more
In the middle of
jobs.
a pandemic.
And the economy was stimulated. It was coming back. I mean, when was the last time Byron, I'm tired of my job. You know what? Just go right around the corner and get another. That's the way it was. 5, 6 short months ago, right?
The end of Reagan, the beginning of Clinton.
But hey, you
Because
could go
Reagan
walk.
knowledge.
Yeah, that's it. You could go walk right around there and get you another job. Right now, we have 36 million people that are unemployed right now. Why? Because of this stupid COVID thing.
No, it's not because
That is part of it. It's a lot
because
of
of the way we're handling the stupid COVID thing.
I
And
get-
you
No,
said
no.
right. You said
Yeah,
stupid
no.
COVID thing. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And you're right. It is the way we're handling it. But hey, I got to see it black and white for the show because of the stupid COVID thing
Right.
and the way that this guy can't keep focused to try to do his job to bring back these jobs because he has to worry about what's going on to the right and to the left and all these snowballs and crap balls that are being thrown to him. Plus, he's trying to win a re-election on top of all that.
Here is one of the biggest fallacies of
That's
this
it.
whole entire thing. And I talked to you about this. Didn't even think about putting this in tonight. I
Right.
talked to you about this the other day. Look, what type of reaction did you want from Donald Trump? From the COVID-19. Well, he could have done more. Well, he sent 3 naval ships that weren't even used at all. They were empty into the highest rates of infection. Well, he didn't do anything about masks, and he didn't do anything about ventilators. Well, he instructed big companies like General Motors and Ford and a bunch of other people to
Start
make
manufacturing.
ventilators and masks. Okay? Well, he didn't react fast enough. He closed travel out to China when he found out about this, and people called him a xenophobe. Think about that. Now we're scared half to death, and he didn't react fast enough. But then he's a xenophobe. Okay. Here's another thing I want you to think about. It's not the federal government's responsibility to make sure these states have enough hospital rooms, hospitals, ventilators, or masks. That is a governor's responsibility and a mayor's responsibility. So the 2 clowns in New York and New Jersey, that's your fault.
Yep.
Completely your fault. It is not the federal government's responsibility to make sure you take care of your citizens' health like that.
But wait a minute. Hang on. Beep, 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 beep. Who did step in?
And
And help all and give them all the stuff.
Here,
Wait
have
a
it. I'll be
minute.
glad to do whatever I
Wait a
can
minute.
for you. Thank you so much, President Trump. Let me go on the media and stab you in the back. Cuomo and that dumb other idiot in New York need to be removed. They're running their citizens out by the hundreds of thousands because of their stupid policies they're running from.
Look.
And they're begging them to come back. And they're saying, there ain't no way in the world. I found a state that doesn't have a state income tax and doesn't tax me to death.
Look. At the end of the day, Byron's right. You know, Dave's right. Vote. And this
You
comes to the
vote
voting.
you vote for who you want to vote.
Yes.
But please do not look at Donald Trump and go, I'm not voting for him because I don't like him.
That's
Orange
it, yeah.
man bad, Democrat good. I am so sick of that attitude.
Yeah.
If you are going to do that, I'm not going to be happy with you because this country deserves better than I don't like Donald Trump's attitude. Look at what he's done for this country, for everybody in this country, not just whites, not just blacks, not just Mexicans, not just Cubans, not just Irish, not just Native Americans, everybody. You take a look at what he's done. What has he done for blacks? Well, let's talk about him being the highest contributing president to historic black colleges ever. Let's talk about that. Let's think about who was president before this. Right? He gave money like Donald Trump was giving, but he didn't. Let's talk about
Lois.
opportunity zones. that they made in some of these places that are low income for minorities. He created businesses, drove the actual employment rate
Yep.
completely into the ground with that. That's part of the reason why that happened besides taxes. And then we can talk about, there's what he did for prison reform. And some of the ridiculous sentences some of these people got, like, let me slap you in prison for 25 years for having 2 joints and a pill. These people coming out right and left thanking him profusely, and the media just ignores it. Let's talk about his councils with black leaders that he has every month. We don't hear anything about that at all. But we sure do hear Donald Trump's evil, Orange man bad, Democrat good.
Don't forget about that lowest unemployment rate amongst blacks since 1969, and some forever.
David Black's was forever.
Yeah.
The Spanish Americans, ever
Yeah,
on
ever.
both of those.
Ever. Yeah.
But he's evil. Where do you get off saying that? See, that belies common sense. You may not like what he says. The media may catch
But
him
you
off
should like
guard,
what he
and
does.
he may say something crass.
Yeah.
But his policies are out of this world for this country.
If you love this country as much as this panel and this show loves this country, please, 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 as Byron has said over and over and over, make sure that you know who is doing what for you if you love this flag and this great nation. And please just don't, like Byron said, I'll be infuriated with you if you come back and said, I just voted for him because I didn't like him.
Why Donald Trump?
Give me something that you don't. What is it that you, politically wise or his job wise, that you didn't like? Just because you don't like somebody doesn't necessarily mean, Byron, that they're not going to do a good job for you.
And I've heard all sort of nonsense. Well, Donald Trump did this. He implemented this. I mean, don't know where you heard that from. Don't know where you got that from. Probably from one of your friends on Facebook. No, he didn't. Donald Trump has not done anything that would hurt this country, except for maybe some of the trade tariffs, and that could be debated.
Yeah.
Because some of that actually has positive connotation to it too. So the man's not done anything to hurt this country that I can remember.
Dave, can you remember anything?
I
can't remember.
had a little bit of a problem with him removing troops from Afghanistan. But there are reasons for him doing that I slowly started understanding. And now I agree with what he did.
I personally, there was one other thing. I personally didn't like when he threw the mayor of London underneath the bus.
They didn't care.
So, I mean, that wasn't none of his business. There was, you know what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean
he's an old school New Yorker.
I understand that. I understand that. But he didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that.
Incorrect. We just talked
He was
about
politically incorrect. That doesn't mean, that's what I'm saying. There's some things I didn't like that he did. I'm not big, Byron, that he goes on social media and blabs his mouth. I'm not. I think, honestly, I think he puts himself in positions for the American people and the media and everybody else to slam him right there. I think if he backed off of that he probably wouldn't get as much grief or as much flack as he's getting.
Hey, David, I want you to do me a favor.
Sure.
I want you to go back and look at every major incident with tweets that Donald Trump has had that the media has gone absolutely berserk over.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to look at around the corresponding dates for things that have happened in this country that have been good.
And I get where you're coming from. I understand that.
I don't want to give it
I'm
much
just-
more away than that.
Yeah, I got you. But I'm just not. Maybe it's because I'm not a big fan. I don't post a lot of stuff. I post some things, but I don't post a lot.
Because neither one of us can handle it that way, David.
Well, that's
why
true.
That's
That's
why you
right.
like it.
That's why I don't
This
like
is
it.
not how I would handle
That
it.
is correct. That is correct.
It really is how if I was president,
Right.
it's
No.
not how I would handle it.
Right. Right.
I would speak very softly and carry a very, very big stick.
Yes.
Because if Nancy Pelosi did what she did to Donald Trump to me,
Yeah.
I would have been in her office the next day and going, "You best hope I don't ever find out anything about this going on, because
Right.
if I do, I'm going to bury you."
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, but, look, at the end of the day, like I said, that doesn't mean I don't think he's doing a great job, because I think he's doing a fantastic job.
See, and that's the thing about
That's
this.
where you got to separate just because you don't like one thing about him or two things about him doesn't mean that he's doing a bad job, or you should not like the other things that he's doing, because the other things that he's doing is great for all of us.
He's the leader of the
Free world.
He's the leader of the free world.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people out there that are smart like Donald Trump, that have attitudes like Donald Trump, because they're smart enough to make millions of dollars and say what they want to say. You put one of them in there, and you let somebody start doing some of this stuff that's been happened to Donald Trump happen to him,
Mm-hmm.
you can get the same thing from them, because they don't put up with it.
Right.
Why would a multi-billionaire risk his freedom because of what they did with this nonsense of Russia and Ukraine, his fortune, and his reputation? Because the left loved Donald Trump before he ran for president. If you don't believe me, go back and watch episodes of Oprah Winfrey, The View, and everywhere else. Heck, the person he ran against said Donald Trump should run for president one day because he can't be bought. And that was Hillary Clinton that said that.
Yeah.
So all these people loved him until he ran as a Republican. Now all of a sudden he's the devil incarnate. And I'm getting a little bit sick of it, because you're starting to paint other Republicans like that. We don't need to do that to each other, because I'm not Donald Trump. You're not the leaders of the Democrat Party either. We don't need to do that to each other. That sort of thing's got to end. Because if it becomes that polarized again, we're going to start shooting each other again. And I don't want to ever see that.
Me neither.
We need to be
There's-
united.
Yes, we do. Hey, guys, it's been a great show. There's a lot of great comments here that I'm not going to be able to get to today. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I know that we had Mr. Mitchell Gunner leave us, me and Mr. Bagwell and Mr. Holland running the things for you here. Byron, real quick right here besides Mom. That was a great game. Oh, God. Oh, I just pulled a muscle, Byron. You're going to have to go mow tomorrow.
Because you were reaching for that cake instead of
That was it. Yeah. Last quick thing, Byron. Let's wrap it up, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna tear another piece of that cake up.
Okay. Vote with your intelligence, not with your emotions.
Good point.
Good point. Great call.
Leave your emotions at home.
That young man, that gentleman or that person shot this little boy.
Oh yeah, I didn't get into that. Oh,
I just feel so bad for him and the family. He never even got a chance to become the man that he could have been.
Sure.
And it was taken away.
Sure it was.
And I hope
Sure it was.
that that neighbor gets exactly what he deserves.
Probably won't hear, but he sure will when he goes somewhere else.
And it's just a shame that it isn't plastered all over the media.
It doesn't fit their narrative, Dave.
That's my point.
Yeah. It just doesn't.
yeah, that's it.
And you're right, absolutely right. That is very sad that it happens that way.
Yeah, I was hoping that, and I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, because I'm infuriated about that, and I'm just going to leave it at that right there. Anybody that would take a weapon and come up behind a kid and shoot this kid right in the head is what I've heard Byron say on many, many shows, is nothing but pure evil.
Evil.
And I tell you, you're talking about evil in politics. How about these evil nuts that we have running around this country today that need to be doing some prison time, and we need to get them guys off the street. And but like I said, you never know who it is or when it could happen.
His neighbor.
It was his neighbor. Was just at his house the day before, eating and playing and everything else, and then all of a sudden that happened. So
that was really, really terrible. Really,
I hate to leave the show.
No,
Give us something good.
I'm gonna give you something good.
Then let me give one more thing.
All right.
Mark Hootie, that was on my agenda for tonight. I was going to talk about mail-in ballots tonight, but we didn't get to it. So, yes, I will carry that over for Tuesday.
Yes, that's exactly right. Well, let me give you some good news. Tornado football is back.
Yay!
August 24th, the board approved it. The FHSAA approved that 11-5. The 16-panel FHSAA board approved 11-5 to start the season. Let me tell you just real quick, and I'll break it down on Tuesday more. Let me tell you what's going to happen. On the 24th, all the teams that want to, Byron, that want to play the state series deal, so for the state championship, basically, can start practice the 24th. Okay. Now, that would be the 24th day of August. I'm sorry. I told you wrong. Yeah, I think, didn't I? Did I say October? Did I? Okay, it's the 24th of August.
Talking about an October surprise.
Yeah, it's October surprise. October 24th, they can start practicing. On September the 18th, you have till September the 18th to opt out of the state series. So if you can't play or some COVID things come up, whatever the case may be, you can opt out of that, and you can play when you want and create your own league. So I'm sure there's going to be some teams probably down in the South Miami area. Hollywood, that's probably going to do that, and they're going to opt out. The FHSAA said they would help them. But the other teams are going to go on, and the season's going to be pushed out back a couple of weeks, Byron. So we'll start practice the 24th. So you'll probably see the first game around the 8th or the 15th, somewhere in there. Trying to go regular schedule unless the team opts out. So coaches right now are making phone calls. Hey, what are you doing, Bubba? They're trying to fill their schedule. So right now, as I know of it, the only team, Byron, that we lost a day that we lost off that schedule, and I'll go over that schedule Tuesday,
Was the Miami team.
Cardinal Gibbons.
Gibbons.
Yeah, we lost Cardinal Gibbons off of that schedule, so we're going to try to replace that. I don't know who else is going to opt out in this area. I'm sure you are going to have teams that probably are. So we'll see what that schedule looks like. But as of right now, football in the state of Florida will happen. Isn't that great, Byron? We don't have to throw. I want something. Byron says, give me something positive. Give me something that's going to happen. And right now, I do believe that we're going to have fans in the stands.
Oh.
What I hear. So, hey, I'm all for that too. Put your mask on. I don't care. Do what you want. Let's support high school football. Let's see. The Republic of Alachua.
It says, wusses from the Republic of Alachua.
Voted. Hey, finally got something right. Because they could have easily went the other way. So tornado football is going to start. I do want to talk, Byron, about Florida State football. I want to talk Florida football. I want to talk Miami football and Georgia football. Because those two conferences right now
Are playing.
hang on a minute, haven't been wusses about playing. So they're going to start playing as well. So SEC, ACC, and right now the Big 12 is still on board. They're going to play. Do you know what they're talking about? I told you.
Yeah.
About making a mega conference, about reshuffling the schedule, and you playing somebody you may have never played before, like Florida may wind up playing,
Wisconsin.
yes, or
No,
Nebraska, or Iowa.
Wisconsin's wrong.
Oh, no, because that's Big Ten.
That's Big
but
Ten.
like Texas
Big
Tech,
Lewis's.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Texas A&M versus North Carolina.
No, that's happening.
Georgia.
So
Texas A&M was in the ACC at one point.
yes, But I mean, now that they're in the SEC, yeah, so you're right.
Ohio.
Won a national championship in the ACC
Well,
too.
that's great.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, that would be great. So football's starting up, some different things. Still not crazy about this baseball thing, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched hardly any of it. I just don't like the narrative that's being done there. Like,
I'm
that's my
not
personal-
watching it.
Yeah, well, I'll try to watch it as much as I can if there's somebody's not doing that. Hopefully our college students aren't going to do that, and our high school boys aren't going to do that. But that is some good news, Dave. How about that?
That's good news.
So on behalf of Mr. Brian Bagwell, the Invisible Man, Mr. Mitchell
Good
Bonner,
night, everybody.
our producer, Dave Holland, Mr. Michael Heater, sipping champagne and in the hot tub in North Carolina, John Probst, Austin Stevens, Roger Cruz, and myself, your host, Mr. Friday Night David Rodgers. God bless you guys. Love you. Great show. We'll be back Tuesday. Go vote. Go vote.
God bless the USA.
Oh, and look at
Oh, cake.
Hey, robbery, man. Where's the cake?
Hey, where are the girls from up front? They're gonna get him.
Yeah, they are.
I won't be able to catch him. They will.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.